This is a video just for myself. I have nothing important to say. This is a reminder for myself. I think I'm just gonna say a couple of things for me to remember in case I get a little bit too emotional in the future to see clearly. So again, there's nothing important going on for you guys here. It's just for myself. So for context and just to remember what I'm doing right now is I'm currently trying with this guy. He said that he likes me, and I spot a couple of red flags, but I don't want to run, and it's dangerous actually that I'm not running. So I'm currently equipping myself with some knowledge and tools and what to do. And right now I'm currently trying to build like a safe space for us to communicate. I do have my anxiety whenever I say my uncomfort out loud to him. I'm afraid that I might say it wrong. Did not comfort him. It might hurt him. He might be suppressing and all of that. But I also have a new fear that I said my real name. If he withdraw in this cruel way after you say about what you don't like, what is bothering you, just you expressing your boundaries, don't reach out. Don't fall for it. Swallow your fears, sit with it. I know it feels very uncomfortable, and I know you wanna talk to him, you wanna tolerate, you wanna apologize, but let me just remind you, you are setting your boundaries. You are telling him what is required for you to feel safe in a relationship. And if this person cannot fulfill that is just the filtering itself. One thing you have to know for sure, just because you are attached with this person does not mean that it is good for your well-being to stay, especially when there is no guarantee for your emotional safety. So for each time you say your discomfort and concern, always remember to do it with kindness, yes, but also don't lower your guards. Don't tolerate. There are some things that should just always be there. And it's about your own boundaries, like how you want it to be treated, what kind of jokes that make sense to you, what kind of jokes that doesn't sit right with you, what kind of things that makes you feel anxious. And you don't have to sit with it. You don't have to pretend like you're okay with it. You don't have to tolerate. And the more resilient you are with this self-protection, the people who actually have good intention with you will understand. And this goes both ways. So I know that you are currently also in the process of trying to tell him that if you ever have a discomfort, please let me know and everything. But here's the thing, you cannot guarantee that he have the same resilience that you have, Z. You cannot guarantee that he have the bravery to speak his heart, to speak what's discomforting for him. And if he ended up suppressing it, that is not on you. That is not on you. You are not a therapist. Yes, you care, but I care more. I care more about you, Z. I care more. And you have the capability to give love, not only to others, but also to yourself. Don't lose that just because you like someone. And the harsh truth about love, see, you could never love someone if you don't love yourself. So this is the kind of things that you need to do in order to keep practicing love for yourself. And only by then you can love people freely. You can love people with more ease. And if you are framed as someone who's too sensitive, as someone who's overly reactive, or I don't know, someone who's just making a big deal out of small things, if that words ever comes out, you know what to say. You know exactly what to say. It's not small things because it's your comfort. It's not small things because this is about trust. And if you can't trust this guy in the first place to be safe, then what's the fucking point of being together? You have to keep remember that. And the reason why I'm making this video is because that's what I'm currently feeling right now. Today I speak about my boundaries for the first time, I think, very in this very direct way. At first, you know, I never speak about my literal boundaries. I was just like pointing out that, hey, I don't tolerate things, I care, but you know, I think we all should have that compassion at first towards ourselves, blah blah blah. You know, it's mostly just about like emotional intelligence knowledge, but nothing is ever executed. And this is the first time I've ever executed anything, and it was uncomfortable because last night I was on a phone call with him, and he was jokingly, because I told him that I'm planning to quit cigarettes, and I sort of predicted that he's gonna try to, you know, lean in and to care and to sort of like trying to make up some rules, like trying to indulge himself in my own recovery process, which I think is unnecessary. And I also recognized my wound since I was a kid. My parents never given me a trust, like especially my mom. She never trusted me with anything, and so my mom just like, you know, constantly crossing my boundaries, trying to take care of things for me because she thought she knew better, and I don't want that same pattern repeating because I know what's gonna happen with me if that's repeating. And yesterday he jokingly talks about how if I'm there with him in his city, again jokingly he said he wants to do some kind of punishment and reward, like if I smoke, he's not gonna hug me or something like that. And I immediately like say no, even though he said it jokingly. I said no, that is not okay, don't do that, don't put any thresholds, because I will rebel against that. Just don't put me in a situation where I have to choose. And it was hard. It was really hard because I feel like I have to explain what I think of basic needs, you know. It's like I'm begging for trust. And it just reminds me of my parents. And again, I think from that punishment and reward kind of joke, it was either him testing my boundaries through jokes, which I'm very not okay with. And second of all, what I picked up from that is he's trying to make affection or love as something conditional. Again, it's something I despise. Something I fucking despise. So I think I'm gonna try to make it clear again for him, if ever there is a moment in the future regarding my recovery with cigarettes. I just want him to know that this is my decision to make. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed, and it should not affect the relationship. I can't believe I'm gonna ask him to trust me, but because I feel like I kind of do want this to work out. It's just, again, I have my I have my boundaries and I have my limit. That is one thing for sure. I have my limit. So this morning, he called me, and because last night after the phone call, feel very anxious. I just feel very anxious ever since that joke. It just doesn't sit right with me, and it triggers a lot. And I ended up not being able to sleep, even though I jog for like almost 7 kilometers. And when I wake up this morning, I just feel more clarity, because last night I was just so confused about telling him about what I feel, because I have so much fear, especially in a state of anxiousness. So this morning I woke up with a very clear head. I told him over the phone that, hey, I know that you were joking, but that was just not okay. It reminds me of how I was raised. My parents always make me earn love, and I don't think that's what I want from this. And then he necessarily he's not defensive. It's just he's not acknowledging it as well, or maybe he doesn't acknowledge it because he thinks that that's not his intention. But again, I'm also bookmarking that, because once in a while we all got to take responsibility, even to how we affect others emotionally, intentionally or not. But again, the whole tricky situation about this is because it's going to drain a lot of your energy. It's going to take a lot of your mental capacity, because even when you say that you don't want to be a therapist, even when you say that you don't want to take upon any sorts of caretaker role, you are doing it. And I feel like that's okay. It's just you have to know the intention. Don't do it for him. Don't do it to fix him. Do it for your comfort. Do it to find comfort in this relationship that you wanted. That's your intention. Your intention should always be yourself, so you know when to leave. So yes, this is just, I am for sure probably will come back to this video whenever I'm in a more fragile states or confusing states. And girl, I just want you to know you are lovable. I know what I'm feeling right now. I have that fear that maybe he's the only guy who could ever like me or adore me or care for me that much. Let me tell you that is not true. Because first, you have me. You have yourself, who loves you unconditionally. You don't need any conditional love. You don't. You really don't. You have your sister, you have your mom, you have everyone closest to you. And even though some of that love around you is not as healthy as you wanted it to be, that does not mean that you should keep tolerating unhealthy love for yourself because you think it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. I know that you are very resilient, and I know you're gonna try your best with this person. You see a lot of things within him that is just, a red flag. But I know that you're not gonna quit this guy. Not without a fight. Not without putting a fight. Not literal fight, but I know you will try, and this is why this whole video is about to let you know that you have a safe space to go to come back to be, that you belong to, whenever you're in the middle of that fight and you just lost yourself, especially if you lost yourself along the way. Not again. We've been there. We tried to save someone from the past, but You know full well that we cannot force someone to actually heal, right? You cannot. And plus, it's not your responsibility. So just hang on. See, like, hold on tight. Especially when you lost yourself. Don't hold on to the things that hurt you, but hold on to the things that holds you. And that is your vessel, yourself. Yourself has always been there for you, has always held you, no matter what. And that's the only place you will hold on with your life. You're not going to hold on to other people's affection, especially when it's risky, especially when there is a potential that there's some kind of power dynamic that is trying to be established. Don't hold on. Never hold on to a love that doesn't feel safe, no matter who it is. And you already know that, because you're not holding on to your mom's love, not anymore, because you know it's not safe. You still love them. That doesn't mean you should hold on to it. So well, I have a suspicion in my head that maybe love doesn't have to be this hard. True love doesn't have to be this hard. But again, it's just something that we know at the back of our head. We're not ready to do anything with the information. So, try. I'm not gonna say stupid shit like, oh, I told you so. No. Because I know full well that any decision that you make it because you already know that you're gonna be responsible of it. I know you have that strength to face it all. You have that. I'm just here to remind you when to stop. When to stop. You probably can feel all the love I have for you. I really care. And I respect any decision that you make, including you wanting to proceed with this person. I respect that. That's yours to make. That's mine to make. We're gonna practice autonomy, even within ourselves. So if there's anybody outside of yourselves trying to violate that, never let that happen. Because we know how to give that to each other. So we're not going to tolerate anything less than that.